Sometimes when things go poorly for you, they don't work out. The only thing you really do is just dust yourself off and keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. Those week 6 pick results were disastrous. I couldn't remember a worse week of picking for the few years that I've done that on here. So I was just hoping that week 7 was going to be somewhat positive. It was. I mean, it still wasn't great. So, yeah, like at the moment, until I tell you otherwise, I certainly wouldn't be using any of my picks for decisions that you make for betting reasons. Like, I certainly would hope if you are using my picks for betting reasons that at some point in time you would cut the guy a check. I'm just saying. Like, send me something. Get some type of residual off of that. Shouldn't I? Shouldn't I? Anyways. Looking at last week's results, I was 9-5 picking the winner straight up, 7-7 against the spread. So like I said, kind of an week, but certainly better than week 6. So progress, I will take it. And now we keep moving forward. Season to date, I'm 67-41 picking the winner straight up, 56-52 against the spread. So again, not great numbers, but it was really submarined by the week 6 performance. So here I am to give you another round of my picks. As always, you're welcome to go against me with your picks in the comments section. I will have all my picks listed in the description box. So starting off the week, you had Thursday night. You had the Ravens traveling to Tampa to take on the 3-4 Buccaneers. And the Buccaneers were 2.5-point favorites somehow for some reason. And I don't say that like in retrospect because I picked the Ravens and the Ravens won. I say that because it just felt really odd for the Buccaneers to be favored here. Like, even if you want to say, well, it's home field, it's short week, Thursday night game, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, no, like, the Bucs have looked bad. They've looked really, really bad offensively, especially when you talk about getting into the red zone, and those problems continued again on Thursday night. So hopefully a lot of people win against the money and win with the Ravens in the 2.5 because they certainly would have been rewarded. What else do we have? We've got that in the books. Now we got to move on to Sunday, and you've got a London game. You've got the Broncos and the Jaguars, and Jacksonville is favored by 2.5 here. Sounds like Russell Wilson's going to play. Now think about that for a second. Just think about that for a second. The Jacksonville Jaguars, after 7 weeks, are 2-5. With a second-year quarterback in Trevor Lawrence that's looked at times, for sure. They are 2-5. The Denver Broncos in the offseason traded for a 9-time Pro Bowl quarterback in Russell Wilson. And say what you want about Pro Bowl appearances in the modern era, but it is reflective of the light with which Russell Wilson was held in by fans, by media in the NFL. The Broncos traded all of that to get Russell Wilson, and they are 2.5-point underdogs to the Jags, who are 2-5. That's how you know things haven't gone well. And yeah, like, as much as you sit there and you look at the bias of it and you say, the Broncos should win this game because Jacksonville's not very good. The reality is Denver's not very good either. Russell's been crap, and I think Nathaniel Hackett has the look and feel of a guy that wasn't ready to be a head coach. Feels like a one-and-done kind of guy. And maybe just because I'm a chaos kind of guy and I love chaos as much as possible, I'm going to pick the Jags here minus the 2.5 because I want to see how interesting it gets in Denver if the Denver Broncos are sitting there at 2-6. Like, would they consider firing Nathaniel Hackett? I don't know. Next up, you've got the Carolina Panthers traveling to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. I'll take the Falcons minus the 4 here. I don't feel very good about that one, but I don't really have any passion on that one way or another. Hopefully, maybe head coach Arthur Smith will do a little bit of a better job of trying to get Kyle Pitts more involved in the offense. Feels like bad coaching, doesn't it, folks? You have a elite level talent and you barely target him in the passing game. It's kind of like all the talk about Kyle Shanahan as this great offensive genius, and yet his teams consistently don't come from behind in the fourth quarter. Or what they do sometimes in key spots is they gag up big leads. You look at the Super Bowl, what fucking type of idiot structures a game plan in the Super Bowl that only gets Julio Jones, peak prime Julio Jones, 4 targets? Like, that's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. You got the Bears traveling to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. The Cowboys are favored by 10, which feels like a bit extreme there. I do like the Cowboys to win, but give me the Bears to cover the 10-point spread. I mean, they just whooped the Patriots by 19. Maybe just the Patriots stink. The Bears stink. But yes, the Cowboys are 5-2, but it's not exactly like Dak is lighting the world up on fire after coming back from the injury. You got Dolphins traveling to Detroit to take on the Lions. Just because, again, I'm a chaos guy, give me Detroit plus the 3.5. There's very little that points to that Detroit should win this game, and this is exactly the type of spot where Detroit would win this game. And I think Detroit, has been okay against the spread this year. I think they're like 4-2. You've got the Cardinals traveling to Minnesota to take on the Vikings. This is a big spot for Minnesota. If they could sit there and win, what does this take them to? 6-1, I think it is. Arizona really needs this game because if they lose this, they go down to 3-5. And you might say, well, that's not so bad. No, maybe not. It's certainly not eliminating them from NFC West contention, but it basically puts them in a spot where their only shot at the playoffs would be to have to win that division. And they got to battle out with 3 other teams to do so. Give me the Vikings minus the 3.5 here. You've got the Raiders traveling to New Orleans to take on the Saints. Give me the Raiders minus the 1. You've got the Jets the Patriots coming off a Monday night, short week, looked really bad. Manufactured quarterback controversy by Belichick. Who are you going to start, Zappy or Mac Jones? Sounds like they're going to go back to Mac Jones because you should have never pulled him for Zappy to begin with, dummy. And once you did, you need to go all the way with it then. Stick by it. But the Patriots travel to New York to take on the Jets somehow, some way. And I realize the Jets have some key injuries, like Breece Hall's now out for the year. Elijah Vera-Tucker, arguably their best offensive lineman, is out. But the fact that the Patriots have a losing record just got steamrolled by the fucking Bears. They got steamrolled by Bears football on Monday night. And they're coming into this game road favorites. Nah, give me the Jets plus 2.5 here. Sorry, can't do it. You got the Steelers traveling to Philadelphia to take on the Eagles. Give me the Eagles minus the 10.5. Switching over to the late Sunday afternoon games, you got the Titans traveling to Houston to take on Lovey's boys, the Texans. The Titans are 2.5-point favorites. I like an upset here. Give me the Texans plus the 2.5 because that division right now, the AFC South, is not good. So let's introduce a little more chaos into the equation. You've got the Commanders traveling to Indianapolis to take on the Sam Ehlinger-led Colts, not Matt Ryan-led Colts. And a lot of people would look at that and say that's an indication of, ooh. And I look at it as an indication of the Colts might be better now in the long term, and I certainly expect them to play a little bit better this week. So give me the Colts minus the 3. Big matchup here with the NFC West. You've got the 49ers traveling to Los Angeles to take on the Rams. The 49ers have certainly had their number in recent years in terms of the regular season. Certainly didn't have their number in the playoffs last go-around. But this one to me is hard to pick because I'm certainly no fan of Jimmy G. And I certainly see that the Rams just aren't very good right now, especially offensively. So in this one, it's basically almost a pick-em game. I'll take San Francisco plus the 0.5 point because the recent history overall suggests that the 49ers are better suited in this spot, and there's some real concerns with the Rams right now. And then another surprisingly good, you would have looked at this before the season and say, oh, God, that game's going to suck. But no, this game actually matters quite a bit. You've got the Seahawks and the Giants in Seattle, and the Seahawks are favored. And it's not a matter of, they're getting 3 points because it's the home field and these two teams suck, so it doesn't matter. These are the Seahawks that are leading the NFC West. These are the Giants that are only a game back from the undefeated Eagles in the NFC East. These could be 2 playoff teams that we're talking about right now. Brian Dable in his first year there is getting the most out of that team, what he can. Geno Smith is having a renaissance year for him. He's trending towards Pro Bowl status this year. I'm going to ride the Geno train. Geno for MVP, damn it. Give me the Seahawks minus the 3. It does feel like with the Giants at some point in time, not that they're going to come crashing back down to reality because they are 6-1 after all, but it does feel like they're due to lose a game or 2 here, and this could be the one on Sunday afternoon. Switching over to the Sunday night matchup, you've got the Packers traveling to Buffalo to take on the Bills. The Bills are favored by 11, and frankly, I'm surprised it's not more. The Packers flat out suck. They suck right now. Specifically, Aaron Rodgers is bad. That offensive line is bad. Those wide receivers are bad. Gee, who could have seen that coming, right? And I know there's that lingering temptation there to say, well, don't undersell Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. But Aaron Rodgers has never looked this disinterested. He's never looked this uncaring. He has the look of a guy that coming off of a back-to-back MVPs, he's sitting there saying to himself, I want to get paid as much money as I can. And then once he got paid as much money as he can, he kind of felt trapped. He's like, oh, God, I really don't want to do this anymore. That's the vibe I get. Doesn't mean that's accurate. I'm just saying that's the vibe that I get from him. Meanwhile, the Bills look like, arguably the best team in the entire damn league. So it looked like it was going to be a great matchup potentially in week number 8. It doesn't look so great now. Am I picking the Packers to cover the 11-point spread? Sure. Why am I doing that? Because there could be some garbage time points. It could be that this game gets played a little closer to the vest. It could be that the Bills get in prime time and they play a little sloppy. And it's absolutely no reflection of thinking the Packers, to me, have a chance to win this game. Give me Buffalo to win. I will take the Packers to cover the 11 points, though. And then Monday night, you've got the Bengals. Now without Jamar Chase, it sounds like for a few weeks traveling to Cleveland to take on the Browns. It's a really big matchup there in the AFC North. The Browns really need this game. I think the Bengals do too, obviously. This is a big one in the AFC North. I like the Browns in this spot. At home, Bengals without their top weapon on offense. Yeah, I'm going to have to ride with the Browns plus the 3. So those are my picks for this week. Let's see how wrong I got it.